What's up, Kings? It's Keefe. In this video, we're going to go over a self-improvement system that I use that makes it really easy to figure out the next steps to achieve my goals. And by doing that, it makes it easy to continually make progress and track your progress in becoming a new version of yourself. Now, before we get into that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and bell icon so you don't miss new videos. And let's get into it. So this system I made, I call it the My Player system, and it's inspired by the game NBA 2K. Now, back when I played NBA 2K, they used to have this My Player thing, I don't know if they still do, where you would have a created player and he would start at like, say, a 60 rating out of 99. And you would play different games and it would be the beginning of his career. And over time, as you unlock different things, you would improve your character in different attributes. And you would see specific things you could do to improve different things. And you had to do certain tasks to get the points so that you could improve your player and all these different things. Basically, what I did was I took that concept and I applied it to your real life. So the steps of the My Player system go as follows. Number one, you need to pick a version of yourself in the future. All right, it could be your next birthday. It could be by the end of the year. It could be a complete year, whatever it is. Pick a certain date and a vision of yourself at that date, an ideal vision of your life. Ask yourself questions like, what do you want to be earning for money and how do you want to be earning it? Things like, what are the results you're getting with girls? What's the style you wear? What's your body look like? Whatever kind of areas, maybe skills you're looking to improve on. There's a certain skill that you want to be really good at by that time. Whatever it is, take all those areas that you want to improve on and that new version of you that you see in the future is in a different spot at than you're at right now in those specific areas. Take all of them and write them down. The next step you want to do is evaluate yourself honestly in your current present situation and then give yourself a rating of 1 through 10, or you could do 0 through 99, whatever you want to do, and determine how you would rate yourself currently compared to who you want to be at that certain date in the future. Now, after you do this for each area, take all those scores, add them up, and divide that by the number of areas that you're evaluating yourself by, and you'll have your rating. Now, one big thing to keep in mind when you're doing this is that if you're giving yourself, say, like a pretty good rating right off the bat, you're giving yourself like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 or something like that, like overall, that means one of two things is going on. Number one, it means that you have an ego problem and you need to get real with yourself about how you live up to that new version of yourself. Or two, you need to set more inspiring goals. Because if all you're doing is making an incremental change in like a year period, that's not good. What we want to do is truly think of a vision for your life. Who do you truly want to be? The things that would actually fire you up if you had them. Like, what if you had this amount of money doing this thing, or you had this status, or you had this car, whatever it is, those specifics, put those down and be serious about the things you actually want. And usually you're going to realize you come up pretty short of that ultimate version of yourself, and that's okay. You need to check your ego because then you can grow. To be honest, every time I do this rating system, usually I start off at like a 3 or a 4 out of 10. So the third step you need to do is determine steps you can take to go from where you're at now to where you want to be in the future so that you get clear on the tasks at hand. And then you want to give yourself a point total for how many points you can add to your score by doing a certain task. So for example, let's say your goal for the new version of you is to earn $10,000 a month, and right now you're at 3. Well, maybe $3,000 a month gives you a 3 out of 10 on your income score. And so maybe you get to 4,000 and that's a +1, 5,000, that's a +2, all the way till you get to 10,000, which is a 10 out of 10 on that score. So you see what I'm saying? You evaluate it based on that. This is what I need to do to improve in this area. And you do it in different areas as well. Sometimes it's going to be a little subjective. There's not direct barometers like where it's so clear cut with income, or perhaps fitness is pretty easy to have clear cut objectives in. But a lot of times, you know, certain things, you're like, okay, if I got that done, I would be better in this certain area, and things like that. Maybe if you're trying to talk to girls, it could be like approach 15 girls or something like that, and you'll be better with girls by that point, and you can improve your rating, stuff like that. It's basically The whole point of this system is to give you clear objectives to become the man that you want to be and to have that clear vision of who it is that you want to be. And the fourth and final thing you want to do is treat this like a game and update the player. Keep track of it. Watch how you progress over time. And I think this is really powerful because guys like video games and we like the idea of kind of detaching from this character and he moves through this world. And when you start to treat yourself like that, this kind of persona for yourself like that, it becomes a lot more fun and less of a grind and this arduous task, and it just becomes something fun to do with your life. The My Player system does several things which are really important. The first one is it helps you get clear on a vision for your life. I find that this is such a problem that guys really struggle with, is they don't have a clear vision for who they want to be. And so if you don't have that clear vision, you're probably not going to make those big steps and actually achieve these major fulfilling goals for your life if you don't really know what they are. So basically, the My Player requires you to get clear on what the ideal version of you looks like at that certain date so that you can backpedal from there and determine where you're at in relation to it. The second big thing it does is it provides steps for improvement. A lot of times, even if you do get a vision, the next roadblock that guys run into is that, okay, they've got this vision, but they just don't know how to get there. So it requires a little bit of thinking so you can recognize, okay, these are the steps I need to do to get there, and this is how many points this is worth or whatever, and it starts to help you churn ideas on how you can get to that place you want to get to. The third thing it does is it maps progress and helps you build confidence. Okay, a lot of times we forget that we've made so much progress and it can be really deflating. So if you recognize maybe you start off at like a 3.2 out of 10 on your My Player, and then in like a month's time you're a 4.2 out of 10, you'd be like, okay, like I actually am making progress towards this thing, and that's inspiring, that's motivating, and it helps you keep track of that. The fourth big thing it does is it makes self-development fun. Again, like I mentioned, I really think guys like the idea of detaching from a character and kind of evaluating him and treating it like this scored game. And if you start to treat life like that rather than such a grind, I think you'll find that you'll have a lot more fun with it, and it starts to just be this enjoyable process of becoming the new version of you, and you start to see how it's a lot more possible as well. Now, if you got something out of this idea, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think of it. And also give me a like, hit the subscribe button if you got something out of this video. Check out this video right here. If you got something out of this one, it'll go along really well with it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.